Good morning everybody and welcome to our final English lesson of the week. So today it's going to be in the same style as it has been all week. There are going to be 3 parts to the lesson. I think you'll enjoy today's lesson actually as well. So we're going to go on to the next plot point today. Our next plot point of our story plan is called Swooping Through the Seasons. So have a think before you go on to the next slide. What do you think is going to happen in the next part of the story? So the last part of the story that we read yesterday, it revealed that it was the rainbow crow who was going to go on the dangerous journey to go and find the heat for all of the animals. With his radiant feathers and sweet singing voice, the animals knew they had made the right choice. The magnificently coloured kaleidoscope crow was the one who would battle through ice, wind and snow. Up through the storm brave Crow quickly flew, though the snow blurred his vision and the wind, how it blew! Closer and closer he came to the sun, but his troubles and trials had only begun. Crow flew through the blizzard, then to his delight, he entered the sun's kingdom of dazzling bright light. To start part 1 of our lesson, I have given you some words on this slide and they represent different things, so I want you to link them to seasons. Can you sort these words out into 3 different seasons? So now you've thought about your adjectives and your words that link to your seasons, what I'd like you to do now is make a list of verbs or action words that also describe how the crow moved. So instead of the word flew, can you think of any more exciting verbs that you could use to describe how the bird moved? So we're going to use all of these ideas that you've thought of already today to put them into a sentence. So our first sentence, we're going to write 3 sentences today. Our first sentence is going to be about autumn. So I'm going to use my verbs to describe how the crow moved and my ideas of what a woodland would be like in autumn to think about that. So I've got an example here. He swooped along the garden path of leaves when it was autumn. So I've used the word swooped to describe how he's moved. And I thought about what it would be like in the woodland in autumn time and that the golden leaves would be covering all the paths and the floor. But then I'm going to need to use the word when because the golden path of leaves wouldn't be like that all year round. You've got to think carefully about the specific time of autumn, which is why you need to use a subordinating conjunction when. He swooped along the garden path of leaves when it was autumn. Okay? In the context of another sentence, Miss Gutteridge brushed her teeth when she was getting ready for bed. So I did that at that specific time. So this time I'd like you to have a go at writing a sentence just like mine. Through the same structure, I want you to tell me how the bird moved and what he saw when he was in the woodland in autumn. You might want to change the word along because he might not be going along something, he might be above something, he might be below something. I want you to really think, okay? And then if you've thought of that one quite easily, have a go at some more and see if you can make them more interesting by adding more detail. So for part 2, think back to when you looked at the picture of the woodland in winter time, and I've got an example of a describing sentence here to show how the bird moved above the woodland in winter and what they saw. He whizzed over the frozen river when it was winter. So I've used the word whizzed and I've described the river as being frozen, which is important because it wouldn't be like that all year round. So then I've had to add the extra detail of including when it was winter. So your final part of the lesson is going to be a sentence or 2, or however many you want to write, about summer. So my example, he soared above the vibrant green meadows when it was summer, and you apply your ideas to your new sentence all about summer.